You to think of something that you are putting off right now. Think of something that you are putting off right now before we begin, because that is going to come up later in this episode. What are you putting off that you want to get done? What do you keep putting off that you get distracted from? What is it that you want to finish, but you never get to it? So pull up your to-do list, get ready to look a little bit deeper into why I'm rapid firing questions about finishing what you start. Finishing what you start. It's the new year. What did you start last year that you never completed? And what do you start? What's on your to-do list that never gets done? Look at your to-do list right now. So thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Receptive Radio weekly show every Thursday at 12:30 Pacific Time, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time in the afternoon. The show is for you if you're a conscious entrepreneur, you're a coach, a healer, facilitator, yoga practitioner, anything to do with being an entrepreneur and wanting to manifest and self-actualize yourself so you're doing your purpose powerfully and making money and prosperity and abundance from doing what you love. This show is for you. So this morning I was cleaning as I go, and I thought that that was going to be the topic of today's show, but it's actually finish what you start. Finish what you start. And so last year I started. Actually, in the last 3 years, I have started so much. I have started this show. I have built and developed programs. I have created meditation, live guided meditation practice. I have built a whole website and a brand. I have 3 books downloaded, with one of them 5 to 10% from being completely finished, ready to get to the publisher. I have also started another book collaboration project with a publisher that I have started. And so in the last 3 years, I have started a lot of things. I have finished things, but I am a creative person. I am a visionary person, and I will start and keep starting all types of different projects so that I have so many projects on the go, then all of a sudden I'm overwhelmed because I have so much to do. So, and when I was in the accounting world, people came to me for work because for some reason I can create work. I just can create work. And if they went to the boss, like the partner, and said, "Oh, we have nothing to do," they would say, "Go see Jennifer." And then I would look on my shelf and I'd find something for them to do. I'd give it to them. So I've always been able to create lots of work. And I'm actually really damn good at finishing. But the thing with finishing is you have to realize that you might be distracting yourself from finishing things. You might be distracting yourself from it because you're not fulfilled, you're frustrated, you're bored, you don't want to do it anymore, and you're in the wrong work. So when you have your own business and you go around creating all these things, you kind of are stuck and you got to finish, or you have to, and then you start feeling like you want to give up. And when you're on your own, running your business, being a single entrepreneur, growing your business, you don't have anyone no, you're not accountable to a boss because you're the boss, right? And if you're not naturally accountable or naturally responsible or naturally good at prioritizing high value things that lead to revenue or completing things, completing work that leads to clients and success or accomplishment, if you're not good at that, then you need somebody on your team to help you be accountable so that you can complete the things that you want to that are high value. So this morning I was up early and I noticed that some cleaning had to be done, so I just started doing it, and I just cleaned as I got ready before 9 o'clock. Before 9 a.m. I was doing this. And then I had a client at 10. And then I was like, well, okay, well, is this the theme for Receptive Radio? Is it clean as you go? But you have to be careful, because if you're somebody who gets just, has the tendency to distract themselves with cleaning so that they don't do the high value priority work that leads to success and accomplishment and finishing things, that might not be something you should be doing before 9 a.m. or because it might lead into you just deciding to clean all day instead of doing your high value work. So you have to be aware of that and about you. For me, the last thing I want to do is clean. But I like it clean and not tidy. And I help, I'm an expert in energy management. And besides cleaning energy for people and myself on the body, the mind, the heart, the soul, the energy field, the environment around me needs to be tidy and neat and clean as well. Because as below, as above, as inside, as outside, it helps with everything. So that's something that I'm capable of doing. But is it something that you're capable of doing? You have to ask yourself these questions when you start doing stuff in a day that isn't leading to high value things. You have to actually be aware that you are distracting yourself. And if you're not good at stopping yourself on a train of distraction, you need to also be aware of that. So when I was younger, in my early 20s, I started doing all of my practices and designing everything I teach now, designing my Finding the Source programs that I offer people right now, my signature programs and the meditation programs and everything. I was developing them in my 20s. And one of my teachers that I studied a lot, there was always this, saying that I was reading that he wrote. And then I kept seeing it with other authors, so it doesn't really matter what the author was or the teacher that I was reading, because I can't exactly remember which person it was. But this is what it said. Do it now. Don't put it off for tomorrow. Has anyone else heard this saying before? If you have, put a yes in the comments. Do it now. Don't put it off for tomorrow. And then ask yourself, how many times in a day do I put it off? When you're in the horse racing industry, you cannot put off jogging or training your horse if you want to be in the race that week, if you want to be competitive in the race, if you want to be physically fit enough or prepared enough to win that race. You don't want to be in a race to finish last. It's not fun. And you're doing all of this work to get into the race. There's so much work when you have a horse and an animal and you harness and equipment and money, feeding and taking care of this animal. Think of yourself as this horse, right? There's so much money and time and energy involved in you preparing for your race, which is your life in this metaphor. But I mean, it's a straight across example here, a metaphor, an analogy. You're the horse. Do you want to finish last? Like, with all this preparation and energy that you're putting into your life, do you want to finish last? No, absolutely not. You do not want to finish last. But we do. We distract ourselves because we don't have an accountability partner. We're not accountable enough naturally that we don't like crack the whip behind ourselves to make sure we actually finish. So there's often times when you're in a horse race, you can tell who's prepared for the race and who's not, and who's in a class that's too tough for them, or somebody who's in a class that's really easy for them. So there's horses out there and drivers who give up before the finish line. Give up before the finish line. You can see in the race that horse is used up all of their potential to win that race before the finish line. So they're either burnt out before the finish line, or they actually give up. They don't try anymore. How many times have you been right before lunch or right before the end of the day, because we're all programmed for this noon, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock lunchtime and 5 o'clock end of the workday. We have this program that's programmed into us. How many times at 11:55 you're almost done something and you stop to have your lunch when you had 5 or 10 minutes left to finish that project that you're on? Or even if you had an hour left to finish it, would you put off going to lunch to finish it right now? And how many times at 5 o'clock do you have 5% or 10% of something that you are completing? And this is in your own business. This is entrepreneurs I'm talking to. This isn't your employees at their desk, because it counts for them too. But this is entrepreneurs. How many times at 5 o'clock do you have 5 to 10% left of something that you can complete that's high value, that will lead to something that is going to put money in your bank, going to be accomplished, going to create success for you, going to lead to more and better things for you? How many times do you give up or stop? Oh, I'll finish it in the morning. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you. If you push yourself to finish that race, do you? I have given up many times before the finish line because I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm sick of it, I'm frustrated, it's not solving how I want it to. Or I'd rather, back when I was younger, I would be like, oh, I need a smoke break. Or, oh, I'm going to happy hour. I'll get this done later. So there's a major cost to putting things off, especially to a distraction that is unhealthy. And if you go back a few weeks ago, or I think into December, I did like the triple crown of transformation. I have another triple thing coming up, triple threat thing that I have coming up to cost to your success, the triple threats to the cost of your success. And it's your distractions. It's the socially acceptable ones. That's the coping strategies. And then it's those secretive, shameful distractions that you don't want anyone to know about. Those get in our way of our success. Those stop us from finishing. Those stop us before the finish line. We give up. And if you go back to that famous person who's coined that term, do it now, don't wait, don't put it off for tomorrow, and write that down on a sticky note and put it in front of you so that you can decide. You have to decide that you're going to be accountable to yourself, or you have to decide that you're going to start working with somebody who is going to hold you to finishing. That you have to decide that that's important and that's a high value priority that will bring you success, that you want to finish it. And so I've been doing that this week. I've been doing it since the beginning of January because I need to hold myself accountable. And I have coaches and I want to be accountable to them as well. And you have to decide not to give up. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy decision to do by yourself, because there's frustration, there's pain, there's trauma, there's old patterning, there's social conditioning. There's things in the way that you're putting up with and tolerating that are getting in your way. They're interfering with you. And so if you're noticing that you can't finish anything, get help. Talk to somebody like me. Get into a coaching session and unpack it. Bring it to your coach. Why are you not completing anything? What is the underlying situation here? What are you afraid of? I know it's rapid fire questioning in this session, but these are things you have to ask yourself. And I've spent lots of time analyzing this in my life, and it's prevented me from having success for a long time. My whole life. Real success that's fulfilling, that's effortless, that's happy, that's prosperous and abundant, that wants that, oh, I finished this, let's finish this next. It's preventing me from getting my book done. All of the things that you start, too many things that you start. We're really good as a society starting things, but we're really crappy at finishing. You're in a board meeting or a meeting at work, and there's all these good suggestions and everything that how to solve problems. And then the partners or the bosses take it away and say, okay, well, we'll think about it and we'll come back to you. They never come back to you. They never come back to you with the answer, because they never give themselves a chance to talk about it. So do it now. Don't put it off for tomorrow. Make the decision now that you do want to be successful this year, that you do want to complete all of those things that you've started, and you want to have somebody helping you be accountable if you can't be accountable. And so I'll tell you one more thing here. I have always had people wanting me to be in their accountability group, wanting me to, go to Jennifer, she has the work, coming to me for solutions and answers, because they didn't want to do it themselves, right? Or because they need me to hold the space for them to finish something. That is my gift. And so I am consistent. I am accountable. I have a list here in front of me. I am responsible. I do meet deadlines. I do show up. I do solve problems. I do channel answers and solutions. They come to me. I do get shit done. And that's why I am in this position. That's why I am a mentor. That is why I'm a coach. That's why I'm a healer. And nowadays, when people come and ask me, well, do you want to create an accountability group with me? No, I can't do it, because that's my paid profession. I'm a paid mentor. People pay me to help them. I can't be in a free accountability group, because that's my total skill. That's my talent. I can't hold space so that you can complete all of your work without me being your mentor. So I've pulled back from all the accountability groups that people have asked me to be in. And that's why. Because that's who I am. That's my gift. That's my talent. And I've had it since day one. Because I've been trained like a racehorse to prepare, to finish, to get to the finish line. And when I start putting myself in situations where I feel like I need to not be in alignment with what is my purpose, it interferes. It distracts me from what I'm supposed to do. And so for you, what is it that's your skill and your talent, and how are you getting distracted from it? Why are you putting off what you could do today? Why are you doing that? And I'd really love to help you unpack that, and really love to help you discover what is it that you're doing that is getting in the way of you really manifesting your potential, realizing your purpose and being very powerful at it, and then really creating prosperity doing what you love, because it's totally possible. It is totally possible. And I invite you to check out the link I'm going to put in the comments later. It's my website link. I invite you to go to my website and look at my services and my signature program, Finding the Source. Learn more about how I work. Go to my About page. Find out more about me. Because I love helping people finish stuff, helping people complete things. When I was in the accounting field, I made so much money for the partners because I billed every day. I loved invoicing and completing projects and helping my staff complete work. And I was a cash flow cow, a cash flow wizard, my department, because it was a recurring, repeating service that we were doing every month, and it was all fixed fees and everything. So all we had to do was finish the work, and then the invoice could get created. And I helped people finish work all day, every day. And because they came to me for the answers, I gave them the answers. I taught them how to look for the answers, and then they knew how to do it. And then everybody became faster. And that's what I'm skilled at in my modalities and in my programs, and helping people go inside and find the solutions, get the answers, because it's all inside of you. Your purpose is inside of you. Your fulfillment's inside of you. Your joy is inside of you. None of it is outside of you. So if you're not finishing anything today, if you're not completing what you started on that to-do list, whatever you put on this to-do list today, go a little deeper and look at, why am I not completing it? What was the distraction that got in the way today? So thank you so much for joining me. This is Receptive Radio. I'm going to put my website link in the chat today so you can go and have a look and see about those services that I talked about, Finding the Source, my signature programs and packages, and Earth Force Activation, my live guided meditation practice. I have a few little other things that I have there. Have a great day.